Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? Good to see you back. May 2nd, new month. That got here fast, didn't it? Just like that. Hope everybody had a good week. A couple weeks past having here, and we'll continue seeing things kind of play out like we thought they might do. So, how about we go look at the charts, shall we? I don't really want to waste a bunch of time. It's not worth wasting a bunch of time chit chatting. If you haven't done so, please go hit like. You don't have to hit like if you don't want. I realize most people don't want us. You don't have to if you don't want. You could subscribe if you'd like. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want. Up to you, man. Whatever. Anyway, let's start off with Bitcoin here first. Why? Because we only cover a few coins here now on the streams. Because we don't just do charts for everyone anymore like we used to. In case y'all guys didn't notice, many streams now, we've only done a few coins per stream. People are lazy and they want it done for them. And if that's you, and I'm talking to you when I said that, just remember that I said that and I was being honest with you and trying to help. We'll continue to only do a few coins on the streams. All the other stuff will be in the Discord like we said we would do. But you have to show up there and actually come and hang out and do stuff. And that's a lot of work for most of you, so we're not going to do that. Anyway, so let's start with Bitcoin here. This is the previous all-time high and current chart put into one. All right, as you see on the left, 2021, that was the previous all-time high marked by those green boxes right there. All right. As you see, we're still hanging out in those boxes, which means we're hanging out around support. I've said this 7 million times. We buy support, we sell resistance. It may not be the perfect spot to buy. It may be close. Well, that's good enough. It really is, all right? Many people are being super picky about all this, and I'm not sure it necessarily needs to be that way. As you see, the green trend line there, still holding strong. This is a weekly chart. This is a weekly chart, so it's still holding strong here, hasn't given up yet. Still showing very good power. Even though it's weak for the last few weeks, you can't expect this to keep up. It's only a matter of time before this stuff breaks back loose and starts its incline. Now, I'm going to show you some more stuff here shortly that kind of coincides with that, kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about. But first, I wanted you to see this. So this is in log mode, all right? I'm going to flip this to linear mode. You'll see that the trend line changes, and the reason the trend line changes is because when I put it in linear mode, it skews the chart because the candles are too large to fit the screen. All right, that's why we use log mode when we're on a high time frame like I'm on now. Okay, so let me put it in linear mode. You'll see it's similar but a little different. All right, now yes, I could move this trend line over here for log mode and linear mode, but not super necessary. You still see it's an uptrend. It's not perfect, but it's an uptrend, which is close enough. More so, you see that it still broke the same all-time high and is still playing around the same support levels, log or linear, doesn't matter. Now, obviously, the retrace and movement levels will be different in linear than log, which is why we use log mode. I answer this, I don't know, 7 times a week. What is log mode? Come on, y'all. Y'all aren't even trying. You're not even trying. You just want me to do it for you. And I don't have a problem helping people and doing it for you. Thing is, if you don't put forth any effort, you're not going to be able to keep any of this money when you actually get it, because that's what happens. Easy money goes away just as fast as it came. Okay, so put forth a little effort. Try a little bit. All right, and I don't really want to hear any excuses. I have a ton of crap going on over here. Okay, and I don't make any excuses. So why do you think you need to make excuses? You don't need them. Get after it. All right, dig deep and grow up and get a pair and let's go. All right. I don't know why you think you need easy money, but that's not how the real world works. That's why you're here. Okay, easy money didn't work before. It ain't going to work now. Get out of that mindset and get in the right mindset. All right. Put this trend line back where it was. Kind of, sort of, something like that. It ain't got to be perfect. All right. I'm just getting close. Now, I've showed you support. I've showed you the trend line. I've showed you linear and log mode. Let me flip over to a Gann grid here. which is not actually a Gann grid, but it's Fibonacci retracement in both directions. Like our normal retracement that we pull all the time, plus our horizontal retracement from left to right. All right, this shows us a couple different things here. All right, first thing it shows us is that we just crossed a couple important Fibonacci lines. As you see, there are vertical lines here, 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 here. These vertical lines are the same vertical lines that we had horizontal lines, 236, 382, 50, 618. Look across the bottom, 0, 236, 382, 50, 618. All right, they're the same. Just going in the side to side instead of up and down. All right. We noticed that back in October, we crossed this 50 fib and broke north. After that pivotal point, we broke north, and that was the end of that. And it hasn't really looked back since until now. All right. Just recently, right around halving, if you notice, April 15th, that was another critical point, and we retraced right there. This gives us a couple key levels to look for. All right, now that we're in this grid here, right, we have two separate grids. We have the bigger one, and then we have another smaller one right here. Two separate squares that we're working in. The little faded green lines are my lines where I've added my side hustle money into this and just kind of put a little bit here and there into Bitcoin. You guys know I don't really have a whole bunch of Bitcoin. Well, some of you know that. Other people just keep asking me the same questions over and over again. Like, do I still own this? I tell everything I do. Why do you need to ask? Just go look. Either way, we've got two separate grids here, and we're still hanging on top of this grid right here. Okay. As long as we're over top of this, which is the big 886 line right over here. As long as we're over top of that, we're hanging out in the grid and chilling here, which I kind of expect. Which brings me to this. This is 2016 versus 2024. I've showed this on every single live stream for the last 2 months. If you see this and you go, oh, wow, I didn't see that before, then you're not paying attention and you're not trying and you're going to lose. And you might win short term. You might do well short term. But when it comes down to it, you'll lose because that's what happens when you don't try. All right. I don't want to hear any excuses. Miss me with the excuses. All right. Nonetheless, you see that shortly after halving, which is this green line right here back in 2016. Here's a green line right here in 2024. We just had halving. I think we're all aware of that. If you're not aware of that, what are you doing? All right. Have you been missing things? Have you been paying attention? Probably not. Wake up. You're here now. I've marked this white line right here as 2016 down was complete, as in no more down, which was about 24, 25 days after halving. Now, those of you who can count will note that we're not 25 days past current halving. We're only a few days past current halving, roughly about halfway. All right. We've already started this downward move a little bit before that. Okay. It looks like this is a little bit of a hybrid between 2016 and 2020. Either way, we recently had this push down almost to Sniper's Alley down here. We barely missed it. This leaves us with two scenarios. If you look on the left side here, left side is 2016, all right? 50 MA failed. Once the 50 MA failed, it broke to the 100. Once it hit the 100, it blew right through it down to the 200 and stopped, all right? See that? Good, you see it. All right, let's go over here to the other side, which is 2024, now, currently, as in this date, as in now. All right, here's our current moving averages. You see we broke below the 50. We back tested a little bit, and we went down. This time we cut through the 50, through the 100 moving average, which is the little blue line here. See the little blue line right there? That's the 100-day moving average. I've explained it a million times, but a lot of you are still missing it, so I'm going back through all of it again. We're on the back side of the 100 moving average now, the 100-day moving average. We're on the bottom side of that. So this leaves us with two scenarios. Number one, this thing either shuffles along sideways, like you see I have here, both of these purple drawings that you see. This thing either shuffles along sideways. I got it zoomed in real big for you, so I don't hear no complaints. Well, I can't see it. Yeah, you can. You're not trying. We either shuffle along sideways on the bottom of the 100 moving average, and the dotted line is the extension for the moving average. Thank you, China Matt, for creating that indicator for us. Part of our Discord is that indicator. We're going to go along that and jump over it and get in between the two again? Or are we going to trickle along the bottom, touching it, not breaking it, and moving sideways back over the golden pocket, which is the 618, 68, 71 fib area? We're going to get on top of that and ride sideways till this 50-day moving average comes down and crosses? Or are we going to make that final stab down here for the 786, 886 level into the red box like happened back in 2016? All right, I wish I had the perfect answer for you folks to just go ahead and tell you exactly what was going to happen. Only I wasn't gifted a crystal ball at birth, so I don't have that answer for you. But what I can tell you is I'm watching really, really closely. I'm a little perplexed. I think it's doing close to it, but not the same to it. So I cannot expect identical movements. I can expect similar movements. So far, we are clearly trending down. If you can't see that, well, you're not looking in the right place, because that's clearly rolling over and trending down. In fact, if I inverted this chart, why would you invert the chart? Because you don't know whether to buy or sell, yeah? And I've explained some very basic TA to you before. So let's just invert this chart by clicking the invert scale button. Now, this looks like a bottom formation. Looks like this thing's found its bottom. It's hit its head on resistance. That's not good. It may matriculate over here and bounce sideways a little bit, sure. But it kind of looks like this thing's just found a bottom, and she's going to keep on going, doesn't it? So let's be careful, shall we? Same time, let's remember that we just had halving and things are bullish. So I want you to be smart. Think about what you're doing. Come up with a plan, which brings me to the 4 rules. I don't know why people keep asking the very simple questions. What should I do, Keith? What do I? Been over this 1,000 times. Rule number 1, no emotions. Your emotions are in your way. They're going to cost you money now and later when this is over. All right. And it will end. When this ends, you're going to be faced with a difficult decision. Do I sell like Keith's doing and like all the people with good, smart money are doing? Or do I keep going because screw Keith and he doesn't know what he's talking about? Pick your choice now, because you need a plan beforehand. That's part number 2. After there's no emotions, rule number 2 is to have a plan. What is your plan? You come up with that, please. I can't make your plan for you. That's your job. If you want me to do it for you, just give me all your money and I'll keep it forever, because that's what's going to happen anyway after all this is done. Because you couldn't come up with a basic plan on your own, you're going to cost yourself all your money and you're going to lose it at the end of this. How do I know this? We saw this happen last time, and the same people are making excuses this time. Don't want to hear your excuses. Rule number 1, no emotions. Rule number 2, have a plan. Rule number 3, what's your backup plan? What are you going to do when your plan goes wrong? Oh, didn't I just tell you that your plan will probably go wrong? You should have a backup plan. That's rule number 3. And rule number 4, I'm going to continue using this and continue doing it, and I don't really care if you do it or not. We've talked about this. Our Discord is closed. We don't need any more people in our Discord. So for you guys who are watching, the 2 or 3 of you who aren't in our Discord who are watching, you don't want to listen, you don't want to take profits, fine. But Keith will follow rule number 4 and take his profits. No emotions. Have a plan. Have a backup plan. Take your profits. If you don't, I'll take them for you. Hate me. Say whatever you need to say. Call me all the wonderful names you need to call me. That's fine, dude. I'm here to make money. I don't understand why that's so complicated. All right. So we've talked about a few different things on Bitcoin. How about we go through the gambit here and look at multiple different things and see it from multiple different angles? All right. I think that would be helpful. So I'm going to first pull up Bitstamp, because the chart that I have for Bitstamp is a little cleaner. All right. It's a little bit cleaner and a little easier to read. You see, I don't have all the stuff everywhere. There's only a couple things drawn on this chart. Yeah, a trend line and a couple support resistance. So we talk about TA all the time. We talk about how we do it and what we do. We talk about finding confluence or not finding confluence or whatever. For those of you who are listening, because there's a whole whopping 49 people on here right now. Of those who are listening, type in the box, what's the first thing we learned about TA? What's the first little piece of TA that we learned? Is it catching a bunch of ICT trades? Is it the cloud? What is it? What do we do first? What do we do first? Do we check a bunch of indicators first? What do we do first? What do we do first? Do we run away? Do we be scared? I'll wait for an answer while I say hey to everybody. What's up, Charts? Can't lie. Good to see you, brother. Formerly XRF. Rob, what's up? Carmine Glitch, Jeremy D, Nate S, Apolora, what's up? What's up, Ron? What's up, Golden Tallman, Ariana, Jeremy, your cousin, Rob again, Grace, Phonetic Duck, what's up, Colo Colo, Nick Beamer, Cody Kinsel, Red Stuff, Cannon Pro, Bullish CEO, thank you, brother. Electric Ken, Cyclone Cotton, what's up, Josh? Sean Shepard, what's up? Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Brad, Nick. So, a few of you, Crusader still has been paying close attention. We don't do chart requests on Thursdays. We don't do chart requests on Thursdays. We just do TA on Thursdays. Chart requests are over in our Discord. All right. Luckily, some people was paying attention. Miss Ariana's first one to note something. She says trend. I've got a trend line drawn, and that trend line is up. So, from our first point of interest here, we are in an uptrend. Therefore, we should be looking to buy, not looking to sell. And I say that with a little bit of conviction, not a lot of conviction, because when this bull market is over, we'll have to stop. Good news is we've only just started the bull market. We definitely haven't hit the end of it. So, in an uptrend, first thing we do is find the trend. The trend is very much up. In case you don't know how to find a trend, well, let's go over it real quick, shall we? All right, we're looking for higher highs and higher lows. Let's just start with the beginning of 2022, shall we? So 2022 starts back here, way up in the air. We had a pretty nice low here, and we had a high, and we had a higher low, which is good, and a higher high, which is awesome. That was an uptrend. Excellent. Then things turned sour. Then we had another higher low, and that was good, but we had a lower high. Uh-oh. Uptrend over. She's done. She's cooked. No matter what here, we probably failed trend. It's probably time to stop. And then you got all of this mess. Wow. Okay, cool. So that's gone now. That's gone now. Now what? Well, now we've got to try to find another uptrend. We confirm trend lines with downtrend lines and uptrend lines and see if we can find lines that fit. Did we have a downtrend? Oh, baby, yes, did we? Look at that. Look at that gnarly downtrend. And we broke trend right here. Once we broke trend, now we've got to apply our basics again. We have a high. We have a higher low. We have a higher high. We have a higher low. We have a barely higher high, but a higher high. We have an even low, close, not bad, followed by a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and so far a higher low. This is all one big mega uptrend so far. So far. What would change our opinions? Well, if I saw it peek its head on the other side of this trend line, that might get me a little worried. And then if I see a lower high come in, because we have a high here. If I see a lower high over here somewhere, that would be a little scary. Good news is our next lesson in TA is support and resistance. When we are on top of a group of candles, that is support. When we are underneath a group of candles, that is resistance. The more candles on either side of that tip that scale for us. We may have more candles on support than resistance. That's good. We may have more candles on resistance than support. That's bad. How do you know? Well, good news is we have the chart in front of us. Look at all of these candles balled up right here. There's even more down here and here and here. And all of these candles are in the way of the price trying to come back down. So if it tries to push through all of this, it's going to have a hard time getting through all of this mess, which is why you haven't seen price crash, as people like to use, or dump, as people like to say. You haven't seen it happen because there's support there. So our first two easy boxes to check. Number one, we are on an uptrend. Number two, we have support. Beyond any indicators, beyond anything else, we have two major things, an uptrend and support. What are we looking for here, folks? Why are we pulling hairs trying to be cute on every single penny? Man, not necessary in my opinion. Not necessary in my opinion. As we've talked about before, you don't have to go stir crazy on this stuff. Just get close. We teach this stuff on a beginner's level for the most part on purpose. I try not to use big words. I try not to overcomplicate the very simple stuff on purpose. I want everyone to be able to see this in an easy and simple light. We don't have to use fancy words and letters and what is it when you got multiple letters put together like the military does all the time? You put an anagram or whatever it's called with it. We don't need any of that stuff. I don't need to say the 817s and the LTOs are looking to form an RXF and the RXF is on the 917. None of that makes sense to me. How about we keep it simple? It's on an uptrend and it's on support. Both of those sound good. If I said terms like downtrend and resistance, doesn't that sound bad? It does. So, hey, let's keep it simple. Fair enough? Next, simple 821 EMA. We talk about this all the time. Simple 821 EMA. Do we have the green over the purple? And do we have some candles over top of those? Well, how about we look? I didn't mean to draw on the chart, sorry. Do we have candles over the green? Yes, we do. Oh, no, we don't. It started to slip, hasn't it? It's kind of in between the green and the purple here, isn't it? What do we call that zone? That's called the wait a minute zone, in between the 21 EMA in purple and the 8 EMA in green is the wait a minute zone. We would prefer if all of our candles were over top of the 8 EMA, like you see here. We would not like all of our candles to be under the 21 EMA. Another positive note, worst case Ontario here, we're in the wait a minute zone and everything's just, wait for it, waiting a minute. Fair enough? Fair enough. This is what we call opportunities to buy. You're in an uptrend, you have support, and things are on pause. Isn't this a wonderful chance to say, hey, here we go. Let's put some money in. Thank you, Apollara. Thank you, Beast Mode Focus, acronym. You guys are seeing exactly how stupid I am. I don't know the very basics. And in case you've never heard me try to read what you guys say, I don't read at a very high reading level either. I'm fairly dumb. If I can do this, then you can. No excuses. All right? Are we in a bear market now? What are you doing? What are you watching? No, we're not in a bear market. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why would we be in a bear market? We just started a bull run. What are we talking about? Are we for real? I'm lost, dude. What the heck? No, we're not in a bear market. What the No. That's for 2026. The entire year of 2026 will be a bear market. We're not in a bear market. What are we doing? No. So we got a good 821 EMA. Excellent. A very simple strategy. Good trend. We're on support. A simple indicator, 821 EMA. We're all right there. Not amazing, but we're all right. How about the 50 moving average? 50 moving average is super easy. You're either over it or under it. All right? You're either good or bad. I like to wait for 2 candles over or 2 candles under to be my yes or no. What do we have here? About 35 candles over. We are way over the 50-day moving at 50-week moving average, so no big deal. As long as we maintain our trend, as long as we maintain our support, as long as we keep doing what we're doing, everything's fine. No big deal. Everything's fine. So that's 4 different strategies so far. Trend, support, resistance, 821 EMA, 50 moving average. Let's go farther down the rabbit hole, shall we? And we shall. How about we pull the cloud up, the Ichimoku cloud? It's got 4 confluences or 4 no's, 4 yeses or 4 no's. We already have 4. How about we try to make it 8? We have trend, support, resistance, 821 EMA, 50 moving average. That's 4. Let's add 4 more, shall we? And this is how we do it on the Ichimoku cloud. There are yeses and there are nos. Number 1 is the lag line, which is the white line you see on the screen above the candles. Yes, it is. Very much so. Above the candles. That's an enormous check mark. Cool. That's 5. Do we have the candles over the cloud? We do. Here's the cloud. Here's the candles. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. Hey, guess what? That's 6 confluences. Do we have the conversion line, the little blue line, over the baseline, the little red line? Conversion line, right there in red, baseline in blue. Yes, we do. That's 7 confluences. Do we have a green cloud or a red cloud? This looks very much green, and it needs to be on the end. That's 8 confluences on the weekly that say, have a beer, relax, and try to get as much in while you can before things turn around the other way. All right? Because it might be a situation where you miss trying to be so cute and perfect over a couple percent that it isn't worth it. That's 8 different confluences you just got right there on Bitcoin in the most bland, non-emotional way I could give it. I don't know what else we need to look for because that's a lot of yeses. We have a couple no's in there. Yeah, we have a couple no's, and I'll agree to that. I have way more yeses than I have no's, and this is the most no's that I've had in about 1.5 years. So it's not bad. It's not bad. Give it a little bit more time, and things will even out. Again, 2016, 2024, if we have any more down, it will be sudden and abrupt and over. You probably won't even catch it. I understand that most people have regular jobs and you have to go to work and do your thing. Some of you guys have families. Some of you guys have women to deal with. Some of you guys have multiple kids. I understand that. So why are you freaking out over every single candle? Not necessary. Give it some time. It looks to me like we're going to move sideways through this and kind of get there a little at a time. I don't expect it to happen tomorrow. I don't expect it to happen over the next week. I think we probably have another 3 or 5 days here of sideways and down before we get a little bit more relief and it tries to even itself out. Tomorrow, meaning Friday, which we've already kind of started Friday, I think we're going to get some more sideways and down. And then I think things level out over the weekend. The rest of May will likely be sideways. We'll see what happens in June. June, July, August, I think we start our big moves and we start breaking all-time high again. I'd like to see all-time high broken by the end of the summer. That way, at the end of the year, we can get that push. All right? That's what I want to see. Let's see. No, it is 100% not alt season. It is not alt season. It is not alt season. It's not alt season. It is not alt season. It's not alt season, everybody. Hey, it's not alt season. Hey, everybody, it's not alt season. It's not alt season. One more time. It's not alt season. How do we know this? Who cares about ETF inflows? Nobody. Can you do anything about it? Can I do anything about it? Everybody keeps... I have 207 DMs that I have not looked at. I can see them come in and I immediately go, oh. I just kind of shake my head every time. I'm like, can we talk about charts? Can we talk about charts? Can we? I'm not picking on anybody. I'm not. If you don't have control over it, why are you worried about it? What good does it do you to worry about things that you have no hand in? That's for me too. That's a question for me too. It does zero good. Nobody cares. You can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. Just like waiting on earnings reports, which is something that happened this past week. We could look at the Tesla chart and say, that's bottomed out. It's going to go up. I'm waiting for earnings reports. Gotcha, because that thing went up 35% overnight in hours you couldn't trade it. And then you'll go back and blame the earnings reports for it happening when the chart people told you it was ready. We don't need that. Who cares? We can't control it. Here's Bitcoin dominance. Here's how I know it's not alt season. It's not alt season because Bitcoin dominance says so. That's why I like the rock. All right. Take you a flashback real quick. Here is the halving in 2016. 2016. It took 357 days before Bitcoin dominance failed post-halving. 2016. It's not 2016 anymore. I'll give you that. So let's look at 2020, shall we? And we shall. Here's 2020. Here's halving. It took, after halving, almost 300 plus days before Bitcoin finally relinquished power. This is Bitcoin dominance, the amount of money in Bitcoin versus everything else. All right? Bitcoin dominance. Dominating. Dominance. Peaked out at 73%. Then failed. Almost a year after halving. How about now? Here's halving. We are 2 weeks past halving. 14 days, 15 days-ish. We have at least 250 days to go before alt season, before money comes out of Bitcoin and goes into altcoins. That will not happen until closer to the end of the year or actually next year. That's when the real alt season. Oh, Keith, but my charts will go up because I like the team. I don't care about the team. I don't care. Well, I like VET and I think it'll go up. Good. I have VET. Let's go. I'm pro VET with you. Let's get it, bro. I stand with VET. All that bull mess. And whatever. It may keep up with Bitcoin, but this is Bitcoin's year. On that note, you may see other altcoins kind of keep up with Bitcoin, but most of the money is going to go in Bitcoin. As soon as these charts start to go back up, then you're going to start hearing more ETF bull crap that you have no control over, that you can do absolutely nothing about, that, oh, here comes the hype again. The easy thing to do is just turn off social media, put your fingers in your ears, and stick on the charts, because then you don't have to worry about the rest of the crap. Next year is alt season. You will have alts that kind of keep up, but they will not dominate. Some may. You may get a select 2 or 3 or 4 that do great. You really expecting all of them to outperform? No, that's not going to happen. We've learned this lesson, and I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes again. Y'all can repeat the same mistakes again, but I ain't fixing to. It ain't going to happen. Not today or tomorrow. I've learned my lessons, and I don't want to repeat them. Bitcoin dominance will fail. And first, when it fails, you're going to get this swoop right here. All right? You're going to get that peel down and roll back up at some point to a certain degree. I'm not sure on how much yet. All right? I need to see it fail first, and then I can kind of get an idea, but I'm not quite sure yet. We were looking at moving averages earlier, and here are the moving averages. Yeah, so coming back to sit on these wouldn't be the end of the world. There's some tits crosses happen. Thank you, John Darth, for pointing this out the other day. Well, I pump bags. I have no bags, and pumps fill tires with air. That's the best I can do. This tits cross should hit right here, which is when the moving averages cross and price respects that and comes back. I think it may push through the weekly 50 temporarily, or it could sit on top of it here. So we either swoop far down like this and come to the weekly 200, or we sweep down just enough to catch the weekly 50. One of those is going to happen. I'm not sure which one yet, and I don't really need to guess because one of them is going to happen. So we just kind of need to let it play out. Again, this is Bitcoin's year. Everything may follow Bitcoin, but ain't nothing going to dominate Bitcoin. I say ain't nothing. That's not true. Most things won't dominate Bitcoin. A couple may. No one's perfect. You're not going to get them all. Have I ever been invited to the Illuminati? No. And we don't make jokes about the Illuminati. No, it's not hard. It's just charts. All the other stuff doesn't matter. We don't have to use emotional speak. We don't have to care about social media. We don't need to use buzzwords. You don't need clickbait thumbnails. You don't need any of that. You don't need the stupid faces on the thumbnails. I will immediately block anybody who sends me that stuff. I don't care. I don't need to see it. It doesn't help us make money. It doesn't help us make money, right? So, doing the best I can with what I got here, and I don't want to overstep boundaries and try to be a crystal ball guesser, because that's another problem. Now, Peter Navarro, what's up, brother? Peter Navarro asked me, what do I think about blow off top? It's possible, but we really won't know that until like after the end of the year. Once we get to the end of the year, depending on how high we get, because we're probably going to at least get above 100 to 130. It depends on how high up we stay. I think if we hit 130 and we peel back some, then we likely have a chance at it. If we hit 130 and we peel back too far, that kind of eliminates our blow off top opportunity. We didn't have one last time. We've had one each of the previous 3 halvings. So is this a new trend where we don't have blow off tops anymore? Well, I don't really know. So watching carefully, try not to overthink it, try not to overdo it, just doing the best I can with it. Again, I don't want to guess at stuff and be wrong. It's not necessary. Let's see. There's a guy on YouTube who sold his house and traveled around with his family. Would you do it? I can't do that because I have kids in multiple different families, and I can't do that. It's impossible. My kids are in school. One starts high school, early college in a couple months. The other one starts middle school in a couple months. It's impossible. Would I travel around? I plan on traveling around, but not all the time. No, I can't do it all the time. Plus, it doesn't make good fiscal sense to sell this house that we're in to do that because the interest rate is sub 3%. The bank is basically giving me free money to buy a house with and charging me minute amounts just to give me the right to stay here. So we're not going to sell this place. It would be fiscally dumb to leave a mortgage of less than 3% and get a mortgage of near 8%. That doesn't make sense. I know the house values are higher, and that's great. We did get a tax house value of roughly like, I want to say it was 320 or something like that, 330. Yeah, it's 330. And we paid 217 for the house, right? So, it's up almost 50%. Well, a little bit over 50%, right? So we could sell it and make good money at the same time. Unless you got something lined up and the money to do it, you really shouldn't do that. Now, we do plan on building a house over at the farm. We do plan on building a house over at the farm, but we'll get there eventually. Am I half red Indian? That's racist. And no, I'm not. I'm a very low percentage of Cherokee. My cousin Jeremy is a little higher percentage of Cherokee. He just answered you right there. You don't have to sell the house. You can rent the house and travel, use their money. I can't do that. I can't do the travel thing. And the problem with renting is people destroy everything. And then you just spend money rebuilding it. If you're going to do that, you don't need to do it somewhere nice like this because this is a nice house. I don't want to rent it out to a bunch of idiots. A little bit of advice for you guys, right? Make sure you rent something that you don't mind getting torn up. I got it. Hang on. I got it. Hang on. Congratulations. I let you troll as long as I could. I'm done, dude. I don't know what you think you're gaining by coming on here talking shit to me. You can look up my address online and come try it to my face. That's the best advice I can give you. All right? I don't hide. I'm not afraid. So come and do it here. Come and do it to my face. If you would like me to fly somewhere on vacation and come and do it to your face, I don't have a problem with that either. I'm the wrong one, right? I'm here to help people. I don't mind joking around and cutting up. I've had enough. Fair enough. You can leave and go watch someone else. Go watch Drew Wolfer with his stupid brony tail. Or go watch the guy with the big beard who doesn't really care about anybody else's opinions. Or go watch the dude in Hawaii who thinks his shit doesn't stink. I don't care. Right? Just trying my best with what I've got. We have a small team here, and we'll always have a small team. See yourself to the door, little homie. How about DXY? Because I didn't get a chance to look at this, but Cheese Raclette right there, one of our admins or moderators, mentioned it to me, and I forgot to look some more. So where is DXY? Did I move it off my dang dominance chart? I must have moved it off my dominance charts. Oh, well, I got it over here. There we go. So here's dollar index. Why does this matter? Well, typically the dollar index moves the opposite direction of Bitcoin. And in crypto in general, I would say more like it's just kind of a generality that the dollar index moves the opposite direction of Bitcoin, right? So here we go. Dollar index seems to be rejecting at Sniper's Alley, getting a 100% headshot from Sniper's Alley, which is the 786, 886 level here. All right. It looks like she's getting a headshot. Now, could this settle out? Yeah, it could settle out. It is over the trend and it is still running hardcore. Now, it did get an ugly candle. I get it. But look at the last time it got an ugly candle, right? She reversed right back up. I like the fact that it's failing because this is needed. We need this to happen in order for crypto and in general risk assets to go up. And what is a risk asset? Well, a risk asset is anything that you put money in that doesn't guarantee it goes up. All right. That would be a risk asset, any investment, so to speak. All right. So back to weekly here. Let me remove these short-term fibs. If we look back in history a bit, the end of the last bear market was met with a spike in the DXY. After it spiked up in the DXY, you can blame this on the government printing money. And I would, you know what? I would hear the argument. I would hear the argument for that as far as the dollar index spiking up because they started printing. I'm here for it. There's an initial buy up. Oh, boy. And then once people realize what happens when you give away free money, the dollar goes away because people spend it, right? And they invest money. And that dollar index comes flying down. You've put too much of it out there. People are using it too much. You got to start quantitative tightening now and taking money out. And they started that in 2021. That's when altcoins really took off until the end of 2021, until dollar index broke out. Once the dollar index broke out, that was the end of the bull market. Same thing back here in 2016. You see, I got halvings marked too, right? That's the green vertical lines. Those are halvings. Same thing you had after halving. The dollar index had a little bit of a spike up, didn't it? And I would say it's more significant than the one we've had already, right? I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. Dollar index had a good little rip all the way till the end of the year in 2016. The dollar index went up. Interesting, right? Dollar index went up while crypto went up. Was that a sign of people being like, all right, I don't like this whole inflation talk and I don't like them printing money? You could argue that. I don't really care about that argument because it doesn't make me any money. I just see the chart go up. After that, an abrupt sell-off. It sold off rapidly. Pretty much until the end of 2018. The end of 2017. Once 2017 was over, you got your bear market back. It's very cyclical, and it's not just crypto that does it. It's a little easier on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is based on mathematics, so it makes it a little easier to see and do. But here we are, the dollar index slowly working its way around. Short-term uptrend. Let's see if it fails out and chokes itself off here and starts to work its way down. I'm not sold on it yet, all right, because I don't think they're going to start cutting rates until, later. We'll see that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be cool, man. I've had a fucking hell of a day, okay? Yeah, man. It's been. Sorry, I said the F-bomb. I'm trying to talk better. Some of you guys asked questions. I'm sorry. Hang on. Thank you, Rob. Very good descriptions. Let's see. Read the white papers. That's funny. Thank you, Cheese. See, I'm cool with joking too. You know what I'm saying? I can joke. I'm usually all about my jokes. It's just been a day, brother. I don't. All right. Yes, thank you, O'Leary. It's very important to keep it. You know what? And even though Crusaders muted and he probably left, let's look at a couple charts for him, please, shall we? First, let's do XRP because I can't tell you how many people are still on the needle. So here we go. Put the needle in the arm, folks. Let's get all the hopium. I've got XRP going to $588. 588. Yeah, not really. Sorry. Slowly but surely, we're working our way over into the buy zone. What is the buy zone? The buy zone is the same exact spot that XRP has hit each time before it actually has any kind of big rally of meaning substance. Little by little, she's getting there. She's going dead sideways like we thought would happen. Now, it might go up a little more in this sideways mess here. You know, it might have a little bit more before it rolls over and gets into this buy zone here. Why do I say that? I'll show you back in history. Again, here's the exact same moment in time in 2020. I don't want to hear about your SEC lawsuits. This was before that. Same thing, buy zone after halving, kind of went sideways and chilled out, didn't do too much, right? How about 2016? Because that was different, because monsoon, right? Same thing, 2016, post halving, she went dead sideways for quite a bit here. This allowed you to accumulate, though. It allowed you to have time to buy and get ready, right? It's all you really need to do was wait for this moment, have time, get ready, and plan it out, and you could lock it in. Well, we're right here near that moment now, honestly. The price is already low enough. I could just hit the little arrow. So the price is already down here low enough in the buy zone that you're at the bottom of the buy zone, which is probably, you know, you could argue the best place to be in the buy zone. Yeah. So since we're in a buy zone sitting on support, man, hey, look, probably make the best out of make the best of it while you can, right? I mean, I have some XRP. Is it the biggest thing I own? No, and it never will be again. I learned my lesson. Y'all haven't. You want to stay on that hopium needle? Knock yourself out. But I'm not doing this game again. I'm not going to be the idiot who really goes out and makes YouTube videos that say $10,000 XRP. I'm not going to be the idiot who says, I will never sell. Bro, do you realize how ridiculous you look when you say that? And before you say, no, because if you look at the partnerships and the team, and shut up, dude. That's been the same talk for the last 6 years, and the price is still the same. Same tired arguments don't mean anything to me and don't mean anything to anyone who really wants to make money. Show me your balance sheets. Show me your profit margins. Oh, wait, Ripple doesn't do that. Whoops. As a matter of fact, they keep releasing stuff constantly. What about Ukraine and Israel war? What about it? Can you do anything about it? Can I do anything about it? Nope. Not a thing. I would like you to go back in history and look at wars and see what happens to charts when they come. You'll see that they go up. Why? Because war is good for the economy. That's why. War makes money. Look up Raytheon. Look up Halliburton and any other company that might have any ties to any U.S. government officials. Then you'll see where the real money comes rolling in, dude. I've been holding for 4 years. It's collecting digital dust. I refuse to hold anything for 4 years. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'll tell you that you've been lied to for a very, very long time. And I'm going to be one of the few people who will tell you that you've been lied to for a very, very long time. And that until you get out of your own way and admit your fault, you'll continue to lose in this game. I don't want to see that happen. I want to see you get paid. I want to see you make money. And I want to see you to be able to say, hey, look, man, look what I made. Not look at what I hold or look what I might make. I want you to be able to say, look what I actually made. Do you realize how few people do that in crypto? Very, very few. And I know you scroll on Twitter and you see someone say, oh, look at how I made $1,000 into 2.2 million. Follow these simple steps. Lie. Lie, 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 lie. Not true. I can take screenshots of other people's stuff all day long and make up lies if you really want me to. Doesn't mean it actually happened, all right? So that's my little spill on XRP. Not quite ready yet. We're getting close. All through here, accumulation zone, which means get as much as you can. And when you get as much as you can, you got it. You're good to go, ready to rock and roll. I pay for I pay for the full TradingView subscription. It's not really necessary for everyone though. I teach this for a living and do this for a living. You could probably buy the basic plan, whatever the basic plan's cheapest one is. That way it unlocks more indicators and like more charts, more candles, all that kind of stuff. And the ads will stop popping up in your face, which are super annoying. And I actually caught YouTube trying to run an ad just now and stopped it. You guys just didn't see it. What is the life cycle of altcoins? There is no life cycle of altcoins. The chart tends to have a bull market and a bear market every 1.5 and then 2.5 years. 1.5, 2.5, 1.5, 2.5, equaling up to 4 each time. Altcoins simply follow Bitcoin for the most part. If you know what Bitcoin's doing, you'll likely know what most altcoins are doing. Everything else is BS. I wish it wasn't that way, and I wish there was some magical formula, but there's not. It's very simple. It's mathematics. Just some basic math, which sounds crazy. I know that. I know you don't want to believe me, and you're going to go watch a bunch of other people on YouTube who are going to tell you a bunch of other stuff, and I'm just going to hand you a chart and say, look what the chart says. Forget about what I think. Forget about what I say. Look at the chart. How much money have you made? The answer is none. You've been holding. How much money would you make if you sold the top? A lot. How much money are you going to make if you keep holding? You'll have made pretend something, but you'll have nothing in your hand. All right? No life cycle for altcoins. Let's just chart them. Is this new science of charting, or is this the same prediction every time? What do you mean? I don't get the question. 4 years. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, thank you, Rob. The coins do not love you. That's a great way to say it. You might fall in love with them and think you're going to make a lot of money, but remember, that company got you because they just wanted your money. And now that you've given them your money, that's all they really needed. They needed your money, and you did it. You gave it to them. Now what? How do you get money back? You're not selling them the coins back. They're not buying them back. That's not how it works. You're buying them from somebody else. They done got their change. Let's see. Do people keep inventing new charting signals? Yes, they do, which is BS. You don't need to do that. In fact, ICT, Inner Circle Trader, he just knocks off Larry Williams, who's one of the OGs at charts. By the way, Larry Williams learned from someone else who taught him, someone else taught him. There's 1,000 indicators. You really don't need all that. Keep it simple. Which way's the trend going? Does it have support and resistance? Everything else falls into place. It's not got to be that complicated, all right? I could go very deep and use a lot of big terms and like fancy terminologies. It doesn't necessarily matter. You can't ban me, baby. I'm everywhere. Whatever, dude. Okay, congratulations. Like, I don't know. I think you think you're wasting my time, and I'm not, because I'm doing what I always do. Trendaloid, good question. He says, what do you consider a successful win rate as a trader with TA? 51%. 51%, and I beat you every time. You might win a couple times, but I'm winning overall. Thing is, we get a much higher rating. We get a much higher rate than that, especially in crypto, because it's very cyclical. We can see these cycles playing out, and as the cycles play out, we're able to take advantage of those each time. We're able to buy the top and sell the bottom, sell the top, buy the bottom over and over again. Now, there's moves inside there you can choose to or choose not to make, but it's the same thing. All right, we don't need to worry too much about it. We don't need to freak out about it. It's fairly simple stuff and fairly easy. It really is. I love the fact that there's a lot of different techniques. Everything works different for every person. Some of us have more or less time to spend doing it, right? I understand people have families and kids and stuff. So, I get it. You may not have as much time. And because you don't have as much time, you take an easier strategy. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think that works out for everybody that way when you have an easier strategy. Yeah? You don't have to make this thing rocket science. It's not necessary. We can keep it simple and make good money, keeping it simple. Another one that he asked about was Dot, because I think he thinks that I hate him or I'm just here to talk crap, and he thinks trolling me will work. He doesn't realize I'm on his team, and I want to help him win, and I want him to win, even if he doesn't like me. I don't have to like you, and you don't have to like me for us to make money. You know what I mean? Crusader, and if that same guy is Lenny, that's fine by me as well. I don't mind. It doesn't matter. I'm here for them. I'm on their team. They can go watch the recording back and then talk crap to me afterwards. Dot looks a little worse. She's fallen under this trend line, and I didn't really worry about this one because I bought it so low. You can see my buy lines there at the bottom, and I did sell and rebuy to flip this a little bit farther, and I got a little bit more coins out of it. But you can see I bought the absolute flat dead bottom there. So short term, she is bouncing off the 236 fib. I like that. I wish it would get a little bit farther ahead here. It's a little bit down for me to be like, oh boy, here we go. But it is sitting on support. See that? Right on top of the 50, 100 weekly moving averages. Not bad. Can't hate that even a little bit. So Not a great spot, but it could be worse. And if you want to try to take advantage of these super low prices, I don't think that'd be a terrible idea at all. Like I said, we're just now starting a bull market. So since we're starting a bull market, I don't think it's a good time to run away from stuff. I think it's a good time to attack or be more aggressive, so to speak. Are there any tokens I stay away from? Yeah, I try not to buy degen stuff. I try to leave all the degen stuff away. If it doesn't have a lot of chart data, I try not to buy it unless I have a really good feel of what's going on beforehand. And that means I'm doing insider info, and I don't like that. I try not to worry too much about high caps. They're a little bit easier to do. Very, very low cap. You have to go down on low time frames. And I don't like that either because most people don't have time for that. And since you don't have time for that, I don't like to convolute things and show everybody that, right? But I do stay away from some stuff, yeah. How do you think about placing trades to minimize downside? Do you have stop losses immediately moving up? So my stop losses are sometimes on, sometimes off. Ones on like this with dot, I would set stop losses underneath the yellow line that you see right there, maybe 7% underneath that yellow line. And that would be my stop out price. That way, I give it room to move. But if it really gets bad, it runs away and kicks me out. And because at that point, I know it's going way lower if it fails that. So yeah, I use stop losses all the time. With regard to the 51% considered successful, is that for a full-time income? If you're 1% over break even, full-time income, no, most of you don't have time to do this full-time. So no, it's not for a full-time income. However, in crypto, you're gifted an opportunity that most people don't get. Charting in crypto is something that most people will never do. And because of that, we have a massive advantage over most people. And most people, I mean 90+%. You have a massive advantage over them because they either refuse to use the chart or don't want to hear it. That gives you a killer lead on people because you'll be first in and first out. And even if you're not first in, you'll be the first out no matter what, right? So aside from people on the inside doing insider crap, and I don't like that either. It's kind of why I don't like to mess around with degen stuff. They have an inside track. You can't handle that, and I can't handle that, so I try not to tinker. On as far as crypto on daily and weekly trades, oh man, I don't know what my success rate is. Someone go in the Discord and find my buys and sells. I'm up 350, 400%. I think I've had a few losses. My losses have been like 50, 100, 250, 150, stuff like that. And my wins are 1,700, 3,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. I'm up $50,000 on Velo, for example, right? I'm up $10,000 on bundles bets. So the wins way outweigh the losses. Even if there's more losses, the wins are massively larger. And again, we'll sit in stable coins the entire bear market. I plan on sitting in stable coins for most of the entire 2016. I was like 2026. I said 2016, my bad. 2026. I'll sit in stable coins probably from near the beginning to near the end, while everyone else cries and whines. Exchanges fail. People get arrested for Ponzi's. Oh, this bad news, that bad news. I'll be sitting over here drinking a whiskey, smiling about it. All right. So thank you all for being here. This was a wild stream, wasn't it? Because we had a couple trolls, and I actually kind of like that because I get to answer some questions in a very non-emotional fashion and show you guys that it really isn't as complicated as it looks. It's not. We're going to make a lot of money this time. I require you to do some of this stuff on your own. If I do it for you, you will lose all of it later. So do it for yourself. Have some pride. Take it in on yourself and go after it, okay? I'll leave you guys with 3 things. Make the best of your days, the worst of your tomorrows. And I'm going to try to practice that for tomorrow because I had a really crappy day. Almost did it again. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to come here, hang out with me. I didn't advertise this stream at all. We still had 80 people on here at one point, which is dope. I hope to get back over 100 consistently for the whole bull market. I don't know that that'll happen, but I mean, I can hope, right? I can hope. We'll see. You're welcome, Trandaloid. Good to see you, brother, and thank you for being here. Last thing, remember, nobody else told you they love you. Even for you haters and trolls, Keith loves you, man. Keith hopes she does really, really well. See you guys on the next stream. Time for Zoom after this. Y'all be good. I'll see y'all later. I'm out. Sky's the limit. Peace.